Alright guys, in this video we're going to be taking a look at my WCW belt collection. I got a bunch of various WCW belts, world titles, TV titles, Fandu Luxes. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at each and every one of these WCW belts that I have in my collection. Okay, the first belt on the list is actually the old school NWA WCW world title. This one was made by the WWE Shop. I believe it is still available on their website. You got the brown leather strap, the simulated leather strap. One of my favorite big golds in my collection is this WWE Shop Come Around Big Gold. I love the way the brown looks. Looks really old, looks really good. You got your gold snaps on the end. And here's an up-close look at this Shop replica. Really fine details. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite belts that the WWE Shop has ever made. It just looks so fantastic. World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. I did clear coat this just to make it just an extra, little bit more shinier. I just took a clear coat, and with this one I actually took the plates off the back of it at least, and took the main plate off and gave it a nice shot of clear coat. So it makes it just a little bit more shinier. As you can see here, there's the official WWE patch on the back. And I took a razor blade and carefully cut out the main plate so I could clear coat it. You do have two of those screws in the back for nameplates. But yeah, there you go. The backing is pretty much covered on the belt. But like I said, I did cut holes in the back so I could clear coat my main plate. The next one on our list is the Groovy G all gold, big gold. Now this one in WCW wasn't around very long. I believe it debuted, I think it was Bash at the Beach. Jeff Jarrett come out wearing it. It's the one that has the more spacing between the main plate and the side plates there. So there's a bigger gap compared to the smaller gap with the original Chrome Ryan belt. So you do have like a little 3-finger gap in between the main plate and the side plate. But yeah, this was a WCW belt for a short time, and then brought to the WWF. You know, when Jericho became undisputed champion, Triple H became undisputed champion. This is the Groovy G belt on their stock replica strap, where it kind of tapers off at the side plate and kind of thins out towards the end. Not a great strap. Eventually, I'd love to get this re-leathered, but for now, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. But the plates are awesome, but the strap just isn't all there. But the plates, though, like, I really love these plates. And as mentioned in one of my other videos, this does come with a Triple H nameplate because I prefer Triple H with this all gold world title. Nameplate is really nice. I got that from Groovy G and Alvin Paul from Figure 4 Championship, but they did a fantastic job with that nameplate. But yeah, there's an up-close look at the all-gold Groovy G belt. If you're a fan of the big gold, especially the gold version, I do recommend them. The detail is just really, really nice. Big difference compared to the Shop belt to the Groovy G, but both of them are just beautiful in their own way. And here is the back of the Groovy G belt with all of the gold screws exposed. The strap is on this vinyl fake leather strap with stitching along the border. Like I said earlier, not the best strap in the world. It really reminds me of the old school Fandu like belts, like the old big gold belts on that vinyl strap. But there you go. That is the back of the Groovy G all gold, big gold. Up next is my dual-plated Fandu Lux. I've had some issues with this belt in the past. Unfortunately, this belt did get some tarnish on it, which is why this belt has NWO on the main plate. I took some paint, and at one point I actually spray painted NWO on this belt, which I'll put a picture up right here. Was not a huge fan of it, so I went back to the drawing board, redid all of this over, so then it was just a blank canvas again. And then I took black acrylic paint with a paint brush and actually did the NWO by hand. I think it looks a lot better than the spray paint method. And once that paint was done and dry, I actually took some clear nail polish and put it over the black NWO to give it like a clear coat over it. So it was really easy to do by hand. And then just putting a little bit of clear coat over top nail polish to protect the paint. At the bottom, I do have this Hollywood Hogan nameplate that was made by Fandu Belts at their website. So yeah, this is their dual-plated Big Gold Lux. A lot different compared to the other Big Golds that I have. A lot of people say the shape is wrong and all that stuff. This was the Big Gold to get when it first came out. And then these other ones came along, in my opinion. These two are so much better than the Lux, in my opinion. But I do like the Lux, especially the NWO for that era, which is why this is my NWO painted Big Gold. When it comes to the leather of the Fandu Lux, I did get this re-leathered by Ace Hernandez of Bear Skull Leather. He did this black strap with black gray stitching along the border, because this is how I remember it in WCW. A lot of people remember it on the brown strap, but I remember it mostly looking black. And here is the back of the Fandu Lux. I did ask Ace to leave the screws shown on the back of the belt. So that is what he did. The screws are exposed on the back, but again, just all plain black. One thing about the Fandu Lux is it's a pretty heavy belt. It's like 8 pounds. You know, when you compare the Fandu Lux to the Groovy G over here, which is like 3 pounds, there's a huge difference in weight. So the Fandu Lux definitely beats that in weight, which can be a good thing to some collectors and it could be a bad thing. But me, I actually prefer the Groovy G belt because how light it is. It feels nice on the shoulder, but this one, whew, this is heavy. The next WCW belt in my collection is actually the WCW World Television Championship. I fell in love with this belt when my friend Raimundo Freeman sent me his Nawaz television title, and I thought to myself, oh my god, this belt is really, really nice. It reminds me of the Big Gold belt with all of the floral patterns in the background of the main plate. I really like it a lot. It's very simple and just got a simple World Television banner, a globe in the center, and that's it. Like, it's super simple. As far as the belt goes, I have no idea who made this belt. It's just an unknown maker. It is a standard zinc belt. There is the standard stamped leather. The same thing for this side. Now, I do want to talk about this WCW plate real quick. Now, although I don't know who made the WCW television belt, I do know who made the WCW television property plate. And who made that property plate was Afnan Sheik. Because my friend Raimundo Freeman gave me this belt sometime last year. I believe it was a birthday gift. He had got it real cheap and he gifted it to me. And there was no property plate right here. There was no TV champion plate there. So he hit up Afnan Sheik and asked him, hey man, could you make one of these for this belt? So, long story short, Afnan made this WCW TV champion plate. Raimundo then forwarded it to me, and then I then put it on this belt, which is perfect because there was just enough spacing in between the last side plate and the snaps for a perfect champion plate to go right there. Again, I don't know who made it. Some of the snaps are fading. I did take the belt tip off this belt just because it was weighing the belt down just a little bit, and I'm not a huge fan of belt tips anyway. But unknown maker of the WCW television title, the Little Big Gold. And here is the back of the WCW television title. The bolts are covered in the back. Now, when it came to that TV champion plate that I got from Raimundo from Afnan, now you might be asking yourself, how'd you get that champion plate on there? I just simply drilled 2 holes in the leather and then put 2 nuts in the back to secure it, and it was done. Pretty simple task. Again, there's the back of it. I did take that belt tip off, so it is exposed with holes. Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, there is the back of the television title. Again, Raimundo gave this to me, and I really do love this belt because it was better for him to gift me a WCW television title than for me to actually go to his house and steal his WCW belt. And last but certainly not least, the WCW 91 to 94 World Heavyweight title. And much like the WCW television title, this belt also was a gift from a few years ago from Roy Wilson in the belt hobby. One day on Christmas Eve, this belt showed up at my door, and I was like, what the heck? I didn't order a belt, and it said it was from Roy Wilson. And inside was this WCW belt, and he told me it was made by Nawaz. Now, the belt did not come like this when I got it. The belt was shiny, it was gold, it looked great, and Roy Wilson is just a pure-hearted son of a gun. Him and Ramondo both for sending me those belts. And I wanted this belt to look ring used, much like the real one that I believe Dave Milliken owns, or it's Conrad Thompson, I'm not sure. But the real belt is faded and has a lot of paint missing. The globe is missing some paint. You can tell it's just old and just worn out. And I really like that old faded look. I basically wanted this to look like it was in a storage bin for the last, 20 years or so. And somebody found it. And I really adore the way it looks. And here's a close-up look at the plates. Again, I really like this belt a lot. I took some Brasso to it. I took some sandpaper to it just to make it look old and just worn out. And I really love the simpleness of this design. This is a classic Reggie Parks design. And I really like this a lot. Roy had actually met Ron Simmons with this belt. And I'll put that picture up on the screen right here. So it's really cool that this belt was in the presence of greatness with Ron Simmons. So yeah, I really like this belt a lot. So there you can see some of the paint is missing, some of the fading and the gold plating. Again, this was made by Nawaz. All of the screws are covered up in the back. If you were to ask me which one of these belts are my favorite in my collection as far as the WCW belts go, I couldn't pick one. I really couldn't. I love each and every one of them for different reasons. I love the simplicity of the WCW television title, but I also love the era that was the NWO Big Gold. So it's hard to pick just one, but I do love all of them in their own individual way. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new and you like belt-related videos. I will see you guys next time. Peace.